I think 2-0 from memory, that they were down right on half time. They did well to get themselves back into it. I'm expecting a Scorpions win here, but the interesting one here will be number 6, Danny Davis. She's on the other side, wearing the other uniform again this year.
Yeah, on linking up with her sister, who turns the ball back over on the first possession. The Scorpions, on the other hand, they've had a much cleaner run into the semi-final, finished the round games with 5 wins, 0 losses to their name, and a pretty comprehensive, well, it was a tight affair in the quarter-final last night as well against the Mets. The final score in that one was 7-0. Second semi-final taking place as well, which we'll keep an eye on, is the Hornets taking on the Brisbane Cobras. So the winners of both these matches will progress through to the grand final this afternoon as the Sharks turn the ball over on their first possession. And the Scorpions now coming out of their end. Shelley Davis rolling forward. Dybel offloads. And the Scorps now turning it over as they were heading over to the interchange area. Sharks back in attack. Tiani Bryce skips and moves forward. Touch made by Brittany Clifford. Rasmussen from half. Bryce takes him on, tries to get in between defenders. Good touch. Carruthers in there, supported as well. Bryce plays it. And an incorrect play the ball. We've seen that a couple of times throughout the tournament where it's a player that's attacking the line. They go back to the 7 and they're getting that play the ball incorrect. There really shouldn't be that type of error occurring when you don't have any defensive pressure. Just got to go back and play it.
It's just laziness. Just get back in there and do the simple things, please.
It's Danny Davis on the park and rolls forward. And Taylor Clifford doing the same. Danny scheming across field. Links up with Sammy Rogers on the right-hand side. And the Sharks now coming out deep in their own territory. Bryce tucks it under the wing. Good contact. Rasmussen down the side. As Murray Thomas rolls him towards the halfway line. Nice little pop-out pass from Sammy Jo Curtis to Lucia. Bella Folds, the sisters, linking up together. Coming into the last, Bella, the hero from last night, looping ball over the top. Wow, they came off fingertips and then went forward, but I think it's come out of the hands forward from the Sharks first.
Yeah, it was just, it was all sorts of forward passes happening on there. Not a bad idea there to take on the line with that longer ball out to the link, see what the defence are doing.
Davis, good meters down the side. She takes a breather. Sammy Rogers does the same, 5th and final touch. Duff, ooh. Goes a little dummy switch and back on the inside. A little bit of space almost opened up for her. Good defensive pressure on the first touch from Shelley Davis. Now the Sharks get themselves out of trouble by putting the ball through the hands. Clarkson picking up good meters down the side. She'll get herself into acting half. And link up with Mai. She's just made her way onto the field. Bryce sets up. Nice drive in from Kayla. Tiani short ball and nice outside in defence. They had to come in off that short pass and they shut that one down and back on the run here, the Scorps.
Yeah, it was good defence by the Scorps. They got themselves a little bit out of shape early in the set, which the Sharks were able to exploit, but they recovered comfortably and they were all over the top of the Sharks in that set. Good space to run into.
And they've got a little space on the left. They come against the grain. And go back in towards the middle of the field. Nice touch from Murphy out there on the left-hand side for the Sharkies.
Yeah, she's read that one well.
Nice and direct here on the first 2 touches from the Sharks. They'll put the ball through the hands. As they come down their sideline. Skipping away, Valila. On the front foot, Bella short ball to Valila, links back up, they've got numbers out here, beautiful ball over the top, Murphy's looking for the corner, and we'll get there. First points do go the favour of the South Queensland Sharks, and it was nice expansive play in the middle, exchange of passing, and got the Scorpions on the back foot.
Yeah, and it's not anything really sort of set up, it's just playing what's in front, and seeing that defender bouncing backwards and forwards, the ball pops back across, and suddenly you've got numbers, and then it's just speed, and you can see there Sam Rogers in the corner having to turn, dive, and it hasn't quite got the length. It's pretty close, though.
First strike to the Sharks on the paint away scoreboard. Scorpions looking to hit back here from the restart. Davis holds it up. Kiala plays it. Dunny now takes off, gets into the in-goal area, looking for support. Does find support, and no contact made on the touch. Perfect response there from the Scorpions. All comes off the back of Danny Davis.
Yeah, and I was about to say that the play before, she got the ball and she was on the outside of her middle, and if she'd taken another step out, she could have really put them under pressure, but she set them up, dropped the ball back in, got to half, and then smashed back the same way again. Clearly faster than the defender, and just got straight through. And then it's one-on-one defence. Who's open? Who's open? Somebody will get open. Try.
Back to live action. Sharks on the run. Bryce forced to turn back. They're outside the 7. Looping ball. Bit of space out here. Clarkson gets caught in possession. Touch made by Jade Pond. Daigle gets the Scorpions going forward. So I'll look to get some changes on. Rogers. Oh,
hey.
Wow. Kayla Maimai, all shoulders, and look at Rogers. Showing intent. Straight back to her feet. Takes a quick tap. Takes another hit up.
He's made of springs.
All nice and tight at the moment. In the middle, Clifford links back up with O'Reilly. O'Reilly plays it. Clifford picks up beautiful short ball. And that is Maggie O'Reilly, who does punch through the hole. And the Scorpions now take the lead 2-1.
Great soft hands there from Clifford. She's sized that one up perfectly. The defence, one middle hitting in on the half, and the link not reading what her teammate's doing, and she's put the hands up there in the background to say, no, I should have been coming in as well.
Yeah, and apologies, it was Macy Carruthers who drove in for the final play the ball. Lovely setup, and O'Reilly finishes it off. The Sharks, they can't respond from the restart. Both teams just getting the opportunity to have a quick breather. They retrieve the ball and we'll get back underway. Brittany Clifford on the first touch gets them going forward. Has another possession. No half in place as the changes are on the field. So not making many metres around that interchange area in this set. Davis is going to try to get them out of trouble. Picks up and goes, switches back on the inside. Not the cleanest transition over there to the interchange area on that set, Des.
Yeah, we got really scrambled, really ugly, just with bodies all in the short, small space. The Sharks did really well to compress that space and force the Scorps into a really short set.
Yeah, we're only seeing a carbon copy here from the Sharks. Pretty much identical. They didn't even really transition past the 10-metre line until the 5th and final touch.
Yeah, good defensive set from both teams here, but they've both got to look to back up that defensive work and really put their heads down and drive and get themselves out of this. Danny Davis was the spark who tried to get the Scorpions moving last time, and now it looks like it's going to be Duff off the box. And Shelley Davis with the strike dump.
Dybel comes back, 5th, beautiful phase play. They've got the numbers and the space. Rogers will go over in the corner. Beautiful football there from the Scorpions. Wow, geez. Clean and crisp football, great phase play, and they were all sorts of trouble there, the Sharks.
Yeah, and I want to thank the Scorps there for making me sound like I actually know what I'm talking about, because that's exactly what they did, was get their heads down, drive hard. Shelley Davis with the 2 phases, driving the ball in, get that real clean strike dump at pace, and the Sharks are just in at 6s and 7s.
Bellafolds takes it forward here for the Sharks. Lucia looks to sweep. They go away from her. Tiani is switching back in. This time they get it down a little bit clunky in the play the ball. Myron Thomas plays it outside of the 7. Little wraparound play, and wow, coming in and a bit of contact as well. Here we go. There's history between these teams, like we said. You know, they've come up against each other the last two finals. They've both come down to the absolute wire. There's a bit of a grudge match between these two sides.
Yeah, here
we go again.
There it is. The Scorps are looking to exact a bit of retribution because they've lost those two finals. They really don't want to be getting knocked out of the tournament by the same team again here in a semi-final. As Lala Duff just can't really sort of seem to create anything out of nothing on the last touch, and so they'll turn it over.
Meters from Bella Files. It's them on the front foot, and they've got their full complement of 6 here in a position where they can roll forward into the Scorpions' defensive line. Nice early release there from Sammy Joe. It's Valila has to put the brakes on. He'll take a little bit out of them. They'll look to reset. Very vocal out in the middle. Sammy Joe Curtis taking it right to the line. They'll get a repeat set. Not happy with the call there, Taylor Clifford. Sharks will take their time. As Kayla Maimai comes onto the field. Rasmussen plays it. Valila will link back up with her. Tony plays it. Full set of 6 here for the Sharks to attack the Scorpions line. Sammy Joe holds it up. Valila. And the touch has been made.
Danny Davis read that really, really well and got in to make that snipe, but Taylor Clifford was caught flat-footed. She was really going to struggle to get there to help out.
Maimai sends it to Clarkson back on the inside. It's come off hands of Jade Pond. Again, trying to claim it wasn't played at. Sharks will burn a touch here as fresh players come onto the field. Bryce will play it.
Clifford's flat-footed again.
Ooh, to Phillips. Good touch there from Rogers.
Taylor Clifford's got to get her feet moving. Those first 2 steps after making the touch, she's getting caught for speed. And if the Sharks see that, they'll be right back at her again here on last touch, try to get her moving.
Tiani on the screen, goes and retrieves the football. Gives the Sharks an opportunity to have a bit of a chat and see if they throw something at the Scorpions here on the 5th and final. They get caught in possession. Taylor Clifford will restart here for the Scorpions. Job done for them defensively.
Yeah, they were up very, very quickly and as a unit across the whole team there to take any time and space away from the Sharks.
And a penalty for them. I'd be happy to receive that as well. There's contact on the ball. Sloppy start. Get things back underway as Rogers takes another hit up down the sideline. Dybel directing traffic. Davis straight and hard into the line. Deadly combination between Davis and Dybel in the middle. Lucy McDonald's hanging around as well. In the left link position, they go back to the open side. Duff on the run, they got the numbers and they attract the draw and offence. The cover defence comes across, but too little too late for the Sharks. And the Scorpions now are starting to stretch away.
Yeah, and again, Shelley Davis directing the play. On the play before that one, she's driven hard to get the yards first and then held up. That's what I really like to see from teams doing, is get down to the line. Then you can give yourself the time to create what you want to do and find the right blade of grass. But the teams that don't get that initial drive and you're trying to set something up when you're 20 metres out, you're just wasting your time.
4-1 on the Payne scoreboard in favour of the Sydney Scorpions. What a start. Penalty here to South Queensland. 5.5 to go here in the first half. Desperately want to get themselves back into the game here, the Sharks. This could be the opportunity for them. Curtis plays it. They go open side. Great defence coming up out of the line.
Hooker Duff just smokes somebody there.
Maimai plays it this time in the 7. Valila picks up, gets into the in-goal area, links up with Maimai. Cover defence coming across. Lovely work, Lucy McDonald. And a scream up out of the line again. They haven't got their full complement on the field here, the Sharks. Filed, still taking them on one-on-one, and the touch is made. Well, they had some work to do there defensively, the Scorpions, but they answered every call.
Yeah, and it was Duff that came flying up with, I think that was with Hannah Dybel, that came flying up out of the line on the open side to make the previous tag as the Sharks were still running their subs, and then the ball came back out towards where Duff had come from. She really, really had to get on the skates to get out there, but was able to cover.
Space on the left. Come back on the inside, a little bat back over the top from Macy Carruthers. On-field referee there, Zoe Jenrick. Got Zach Jenrick as well in the middle, who's just signalled the ball down. Lachlan Freshwater as well assisting. Good opportunity here for the Scorpions. It's a mistake there from the Sharkies. They haven't let too many opportunities slip through their hands, particularly down this attacking end of the field. Dybel in. Duff feeds it out the back to Shelley Davis. They look to get a little bit of shape here. Nice touch on Dybel from Murphy. Forces the Scorpions to reset. Early ball. Dybel back on the inside to Shelley Davis. This is clinical here from the Scorpions. 5 tries in the first half. And they're starting to get a really handy lead here over the Sharks.
Yeah, 5-1 is a nice, comfortable sort of feel now, but they'll want to run through a few things, make sure they've got their defence set for the final. They'll want to make sure that they get this win closed out, obviously, but they'll start looking at making sure they're getting the last few things right for the final before they stress too much about how the rest of this game is going to go.
Well, they got to get there first. Desi, hey. Let's not count chickens here. We'll see what happens. They're definitely looking clinical at the moment as Tiani Bryce slips in underneath.
Yeah, Lala Duff's only got 1 foot to the line there as she's making the touch. The second foot was only just getting there. It was very similar to the one that we saw the winner in the game last night.
Yeah.
That the Sharks scored there, where the player only got the 1 foot to the line, just making the tag. But 5-2, 2 minutes to go here.
Tiani Bryce. You feel like if it might be someone that can spark them back into this game, might be Tiani Bryce, and you can see her attacking prowess right there. Young lady on screen as the Scorpions look to hit back, but there is another mistake within the play the ball. Sharks on the first touch. Now with Mai, they put the ball through the hands. Lucia will get it down. Better transition set for them. Velila tries to skip on the outside, still quite lateral towards the back end. This time Bella can't skip away. Lovely touch from O'Reilly, who offloads from half. She'll take a hit up down the sideline as well into the interchange area. As the changes come on here for the Scorpions. No half in place. Opportunity for the Sharks to come up. Bella Folds does exactly that. Shelley Davis, probably just a little bit of air in between. Was trying to target in between 2 South Queensland defenders and kind of basically got the ball down in between those 2. It was unlucky because it was really a nice punchy set towards the back end. They were on the front foot coming into the 5th and final touch. Yeah, and it's one of those mistakes born of intent, like you said. It's trying to drive. It's what Shell's been doing the whole game here so far. But again, it just continues that theme that we've been talking about all week of voluntary roll balls. So there's 30 seconds left to go here in the first half, and the Sharks receiving the penalty. Offside player out here on the left-hand side of the field for the Scorpions. This is a huge set here for the Sharks. If they can strike before the halftime break, they'll take plenty of confidence. Rogers comes in to make the touch.
They were lucky there because Shelley Davis was on her spike getting her out there, had it covered, and Duff kind of snuck in to make the tag, which dragged Rogers in as well.
And the Sharks, they can't capitalise. The hooter sounds in the background. They will play the penalty first. Touch and pass from Zoe Genrick. And I think we might see Shelley Davis here take the tap and affect the touch. Both teams will head over to their interchange areas for the halftime break. And the Scorpions, though, came out all guns blazing, didn't they, Des? They went pretty hard at the paint away scoreboard early on.
I would say they're probably, to win this game, they're probably going to have to score 5 or 6 tries in this second half. They're going to leak a couple of tries at least. So they really need to get themselves really going forward here and get themselves into the game.
Well, they fought back in the quarterfinal last night against Sunshine Coast. They were down 2-0 in that one. Managed to claw their way back with 3 unanswered tries. And finally icing that off towards the back end of the game. So they'll play to the full final whistle, but the Scorpions in that first half, just clinical problem. It was a great start to this game.
Yeah, and the Sharks were not so clinical, and we see another drop ball. They get lucky with the offside here, but they're going to need to get their handling right. Lucia Foltz has dropped the ball a couple of times in reasonably easy positions.
Side ball, it's to Foltz. The Scoops come up and make the touch. Yeah, and good pressure. It's just taking a touch out of the touch count for them. It's just a wasted one as Bella sweeps, but not clean in the play of the ball again. They come back in field to Sammy Joe. Look to steady the ship. Bella holds, plays out the back to Lucia, loops it out to Hagan, just tips away at the bootlaces.
Yeah, and the link out on this side, which I think was Tegan Haig, was already up and into the line. She'd already overrun a hole, and then I'd see a lot more depth. Like hold that little bit longer and then really strike in, because that's what's going to put those outside defenders under pressure.
A mistake here from the Scorpions, though, coming out of their end of the field, gives the Sharks another opportunity. Attack the line. Uncharacteristic mistake from the Scorpions. And pretty clinical throughout the first 20. Lucia holding it in 2 hands. Tiani now sweeps around the back. Nice little short ball, link hole, but good recovery in defence. Referees say touch. Brittany Clifford. Lovely touch. Comes up out of the line again. They're holding off the Sharks at the moment. They play it and just disrupts their play the ball. Yet again, they're doing a great job defending their line so far here, the Scorpions. 5th and final touch for them now. Bryce looping ball over the top and over there. Sammy Rogers to shut it down. And it is a forward pass. Big tick in the box there. Line defence from the Scorpions. They were very strong.
Yeah, and they're very active as well. You could see Davis there on one of them, Dybel on the other one, where they're just really active to try to take the time and space away from the Sharks and stop them from actually creating anything. And now they're charging back down the line at them. Throw a loose ball that will turn the ball over on last touch, but that was, I reckon, from the Scorpions coach, that's the perfect start. Aside from that area on the previous set, it's the perfect start for them. They've defended the line really well. They've got a hard drive down to the other end of the field. They're the sort of the 2 main points I think that the Scorpions would be making to their players coming out of halftime.
Rasmussen back to Curtis off the fingertips. Might be able to create some space. Nice ball from McCormick. Haig in the corner. They'll bring it back.
That's a forward one.
Nice play, though, from the Sharks when it looked like it was falling apart for them. Just a little inside ball. Sammy Joe, even off the juggle, though, did a good job to assess. Almost created the space. The final pass just eluding them. Still hanging in here, the Sharks. They need to be on the scoreboard next, you would think. Stuff links up. Clifford. Danny Davis against the grain, out to the left-hand side. They're well numbered up on that side of the field. Like they just wanted to finish their set on that left-hand side. Cormac throws the dummy and holds. Good option as well. Picked up a few extra metres by doing so. Clarkson from half. My, out of the interchange area. It's him on the front foot. Bryce, not much to work with here. And they will take the touch.
And it was a good setup till that point. Just as Bryce picked the ball up, and the outside players weren't really doing much of anything, but she's just kind of stopped to look like there was no plan coming out of the box. Like you'd actually like to see have a plan to go, okay, when we get down there, this is what we're going to run at the end of this set.
Shelley Davis straightens up. Dybel, ball in two hands. Gets caught in possession. It's down the right end of the field.
Yeah, she's thrown that little pump, the dummy first, and that's peeled the defender out. But not enough acceleration to then kick away as the Sharks try to find a little gap. I'll run their subs.
We're looking to connect up with the players coming onto the field. Holds on to the ball. Tony Rasmussen, very experienced player here for the Sharks.
This is better.
Gets herself into half. She goes, looks to kick off, ball out in two hands. Runs in between two Scorpions defenders. Looking to try and catch them offside.
Yeah, probably needed to cut back to the right a little bit earlier. She might have been able to open up a bit of space then, but they've got a good early shoot here. But then the second one hasn't quite worked out, and so now they're on the back foot, the Sharks. Scorps have got all the space and time that they need to be able to run their subs to the point where you can see Duff having a snooze.
Play on here. Rogers is picked up and going from half. She saw that there was players offside. An easy ball back to O'Reilly. Wow, that's the experience there of Sammy Rogers. You'll see her inject herself in those type of moments from time to time, and it's just good game awareness. Saw the offside players, and she's got the speed to burn to be able to capitalise.
Yeah, and it's exactly because of what I was just saying, that the Sharks had missed that second shooter set to open up a space, put no pressure onto the Scorpions, and then they're on the back foot. And as soon as you're on the back foot, one person not onside. Sammy Rogers is too smart, too fast, too experienced. And she just opens them right up and goes straight through.
Curtis Bellafolds sweeps around the back off the left foot. Nice early ball, pop back on the inside to Lucia. Still a little bit of niggle out there between the two teams.
It all seems to be coming towards the Fold sisters. I don't know if there's anything there specifically, but...
I was going to say it might be Clifford's v Folds, but you've also got Davis's as well to contend with. Sibling affair out here on both sides of the field.
Looking at that, they've run that play a couple of times now where they've sent that sweeper around and Bella Folds has run around. If I'm in the box for the Sharks, I'm telling them to look really hard at running that switch back or on the back of it, because Bella's really got the pace to stretch them out. She's really turning that defence around and getting them to turn their shoulders out. That's where we're looking as we see something similar. Hasn't quite worked for them.
Yeah, probably just wasn't quite tight enough. The inside ball ended up being thrown. Tamara Thomas running in between two Scorps defenders as the Sharks fire it over the sideline. Gives them an opportunity to get their defensive line set. Tegan Haig on screen. Playing in the left wing position for the Sharks in this semi-final. The Scorps head towards the midfield on the first two touches. Rogers taking it forward. Over the halfway line they go. Clifford, fifth and final touch. Davis slips in between two defenders and will plonk it over in the corner. Well, they cannot do anything wrong at the moment here, the Sydney Scorpions. Clinical performances. Danny clutching potentially at an arm or shoulder. Hopefully she's just winded.
Yeah.
Gets back up to her feet. Sucking in the big ones. Quite an effort. Gives a little nod. Hopefully she's okay.
Once you get over 25, it's a long way down to finish off those tries. But she's just injected pace, steps back against the grain, eludes the flailing, trailing arm there. and slices through.
It's starting to get away for the Sharks now. 5-try deficit. 7-2 on the Pain Away scoreboard. Folds comes back infield. McCormick into half. Right foot will earn a repeat set.
That's well defended, but that was good attack. That's exactly what they need to be doing. They're the opportunities, they're the options that they need to take as Duff puts one up a little bit high there on McCormack.
Touches made, a couple of changes still working their way onto the park. You can see Kayla Maimai coming on out the back as Lucia tries to get in between offside players. Will earn a penalty.
Just pointing out that that's where the scoreline is there, and that's a Clifford. That's a Folds against the Clifford. I think we've identified something here.
Yeah, it's a nice little battle out there. She sends it back infield. Tiani will play it. Shani Villela turns it back on the inside. And Lucia just had her ankle stepped on. She's going to tighten up the boot laces. We come over for a breather. Sister Bella's going to replace her. As Tiani attacks down the right-hand side of the field. Touch is made.
It's the best attacking set that the Sharks have had for a while. Their creativity is starting to come into play a little bit better than it has up till this point. The Scorpions are defending well. Sharks might just be able to get something here.
Kayla switches in. Bella folds. Who skips away. Tiani Bryce will get herself into half. Shapes to the left. Does end up coming back that way. A little bit of a juggle from Shani Villela. It's Kayla Maimai offloads. Sharks choosing to make two interchanges on the fifth and final. Mara Thomas does a good job to get there in time. Gee whiz, it's almost 3-on-1 down the left-hand side of the field. I was concerned that they did make the changes coming into the fifth touch, and Mara Thomas just getting there in time, but they almost created an opportunity down the left.
Yeah, and it's just that odd time to make the subs. If they hit their holes properly and are all on the field, a real good opportunity there. They just really do not look smooth and coordinated and orchestrated as well as they probably should be. As Shelley Davis goes right up the back of, I think that's Brittany Clifford.
Sorry, Des, I was just going to say score update in the second semi-final. The Hunter Western Hornets currently leading 6-5 over the Brisbane Cobras. Tight contest over in the second semi-final. We'll keep an eye on that one. Back to this first semi-final. And the Sydney Scorpions have got one foot in the door for the grand final later on this afternoon. As Phillips heads across field, links up with Murphy. Turn the ball over and look at this. Scorps punching down the sideline. Second touch still coming up. They're going to get over the halfway line with Rogers. Meters O'Reilly. Nice clean pick up. They're in trouble here. The Sharks, who was just unlucky. That ball came off the fingertips there. Carruthers linking back up with O'Reilly on the inside. They were punching downfield quite nicely there, the Scorps.
Yeah, and it's a try every possession really sort of in that zone now for the Sharks. They really need to get down there and spend some not a great deal of time down at the attacking end, but they need to be getting some scores here now.
Wells looping ball over the top. It's Bella Folds coming from outside in. Rogers was there to make the touch if need be. And the Western Hornets have just scored again in the second semi-final. Push their margin up to 2. Potentially looking at an all New South Wales final in the women's. Scorpions down their sideline yet again. Nice offload to Rogers. Clean pick up from Davis. Good to see her back out on the park. They come back her way. Again, right foot. She's had a lot of success down that short side. A little pop ball over the top. Mara Thomas there to make the touch on Duff.
differences between these two sides have really been, could not have been clearer in the way that they've approached this game. And the Sharks have been just clunky. You can see they've still only got the 3 players on the field here as they're running subs, waiting for them to come past, but their timings have been out in all their plays. The downtime, the time that the ball's on the ground for in the roll balls has been too long at different times of the game. The Scorpions, on the other hand, have been smooth. They've had intent to drive down the field hard as Davis collides with the Sharks ball player at the time.
Yeah, Sammy Joe Curtis. Yeah. 2 players that know each other very well. Playing club football, or have been playing club football for the UQ Rebels. And back in Queensland. Lucia cannot connect. Back on the inside, the Hornets have put another one on. They're streaking towards a grand final match up here against the Sydney Scorpions. 8-6. On the second semi-final. Davis trudging the Scorpions towards the halfway line. Sister Shelley now on the park. Dybel just had to have a couple of steps to get there to the acting half position. Would have just taken a little bit of a sting out of the attack there coming into that final touch. The Sharks now pushing passes to try and get themselves downfield. Cormick takes the touch. Ooh, and Sammy Joe again pushing the pass. Tough one to take there from Clarkson.
Yeah, right down around the knees. That's why it's bounced so far away, because that's what it's hit rather than at the hands. Scorps are just now looking to close this game out. All they have to do is play mistake-free footy. Just going to drive the ball down, control the ball during their possessions, try and drag the time out as much as possible. You can see Davis just slowing it down.
Dybel jinking around. They have created numbers down the left. Rogers is going to go over for another. Caught flat-footed. Gee whiz, they've had some success in the second half down that left-hand side of the field.
Yeah, and the Sharks are, I think they're looking up for the clock as well. They're well and truly beaten. There's no real hard turn and chase on that one, which is disappointing. Once she's beaten, yeah, Sinead Murphy does put in the hard ones, but there's not really much support coming from inside. So even if that space wasn't there, a pop-back pass was going to finish off nicely. But the Sharks will reassess after the end of this tournament. They'll be back stronger again next year, and I would expect to see them putting in a much better performance next season. But at this tournament, they've been a little bit hot and cold. They've done well to get to a semi-final.
And it's been a mighty effort for them over the last 2 years, back-to-back champions. It's hard enough to win one, let alone two. So they have to be acknowledged and to still make a semi-final in their third year. It's been a mighty performance from them. But the Scorpions, can they get the bunny off the back? They've been in the last 4 finals, Des. Haven't been able to chalk up a victory as of yet. And you'd have to say, probably going to go into the final this afternoon. The favourite of the two teams. And the Hornets are still looking like their likely opponent. Unless a miracle can happen over on field 2 from the Brisbane Cobras. They're still down by 2 as we speak. The clock's starting to wind down. The Sharks players down on the deck here. It is Kiala Duff and a links back up on the inside.
Ollie Raff with the finish. Herga Duff. Sorry, that's Lala Duff. Just too quick. But, yeah, one of the Sharks players, I think she might have just got that's Sammy Curtis. She might have just got her foot trodden on in the roll ball, and she's gone straight back onto her back, but that's what opened up the gap.
Yeah, you can see it there. Ooh, heavy fall. Still down on the deck as the play continued. The Scorpions, rightfully so, continued on. There you can see Sammy Joe. Tough contact.
Yeah, just tripped over Tiani Bryce's foot, I think. But that'll close that one out. It's still 8-6 over on the other game. The Hornets are flying in and look like they might just get another to seal it. No, she's dropped it. But either way, they're 8-6. They're up by 2 tries with a minute to go. So I think we're pretty confident in saying that our finalists in the women's will be the Scorpions and the Hornets. The Scorpions have been the favourites for me from the start of the tournament. I'm really pleased to see that's played out, but it'll be a cracking game. Both teams are faster, fit, and I think the final this afternoon will be an absolute belter.
They've had a great tournament, the Hunter Western Hornets. Deservedly so, into the grand final. The two top teams, after the completion of the round games, they both finished top of their pool. Progressed through, quarterfinal wins yesterday. It's going to make for a cracking grand final later on this afternoon. And Valila off the right foot, they continue on. Hooter is about to sound in the background. Good to see Sammy Joe back out on the park as well, off the fingertips. And that'll be all she wrote here in the Women's Open semi-final. The Sydney Scorpions will progress through to the grand final this afternoon and confirm they will meet the Hunter Western Hornets. Like you said, Des, we're really looking forward to seeing how that one unfolds. It's going to be a cracking Women's Open grand final.
Yeah, and both teams, like I said, they're both fast.